So the ability to exaggerate it is one thing, and that's going to be a drill as we go forward. You will see too, it's mostly the exaggeration is going to be for the more lean you can put on the bike, the more turns you can make, right? If did everybody see that? Let him know they saw it. He'll be super happy. So if I have the bike right here and I push it forward, right, it's going to turn so much. If I lean the bike and turn it, it's going to turn twice as much, right? Everybody makes that makes sense. If I hold the bike straight up and down, it turns less. The more you can lean the bike, the more turning radius more turning radius you have. We're going to do that in a second here, but first we're going to do our cone weave. This is one of my favorite drills. Cone weaves are, I mean, like I said earlier, this is what you're doing when you're on the trail. You're either weaving around a rock or going directly at the rock. The ability to put your front tire or rear tire in the correct place on the trail is key. Everybody catch that? The ability to put your front or rear tire in the correct spot on the trail is key. Tire awareness, where your tires are in relation to whatever obstacle or whatever thing you're facing. If you're riding up a rocky trail, you're going to have to make decisions on whether or not you're going to go around that rock or directly over that rock. The key to that is putting it in the right place when it happens. A cone weave is a perfect practice for that. Being able to weave a cone at 4 feet, truthfully, is what your guys' goal should be. This is a 5-foot gap. This is a, yeah, I would say this, I think everybody here should be able to get this at some point today. 5 feet is tough, but that should be everybody's goal. If you've got 5 feet first try, you should be able to do it 4 feet. And you can just keep going tighter and tighter and tighter. I mean, obviously this is a point where you have to start hopping your front and hopping your rear and doing a little more trial style, but that's where, you know, again, the beauty of this stuff is it never ends. You know, you want to do a clutch control drill, do it on something steeper. Put your front tire into the air, walk it back and forth. I mean, there's always the next level to these drills. And these drills will apply so heavily to your overall control when it matters. So you rise to the level of your training, not fall to the level of your training. So what we're going to do here is a cone weave. Again, this is a 5-foot gap. This is a 6-foot gap. I say everybody make sure you can do it at 6 feet. If you feel like 6 feet is going to be too tight, do every other one. That's 12 feet. Then once you get that, do every other one on the 5 feet. That's 10 feet. Then do 6 feet, then do 5 feet. Does that make sense, everybody? You can kind of work it backwards. The goal here is steady clutch and throttle. We are using that same throttle and clutch that you guys used on the hill, rolling back and forth on that incline. Steady clutch and throttle, we're never going all the way out and we're never coming all the way in with the clutch. Even like, honestly, even when I come to a stop, I'm not coming all the way in with the clutch. And that might be kind of a surprise for you guys. And we have a drill later on that will kind of show you exactly what I'm talking about. But I'm never going all the way out or all the way in at slow speed. I'm always maintaining a steady friction zone still. Does that make sense? So I'm going to show you guys. Hey, even here, I'm steady throttle, steady clutch. Honestly, the only thing holding me back is my front brake. You can see if I release the front brake, my bike moves forward. Steady throttle, steady clutch, outside pegway. Outside pegway. You guys can see where's my body position. All head over foot when I go to the right or left. Head over foot. Over my left foot. Every time I make that transition with my hips, boom, to the outside. Boom. See where my hips are. Off center on that bike. You can initiate the turn with the inside, outside pegway. See that transition? Turning. Steady throttle. throttle, steady clutch. Transition. To the left. Transition. Inside, outside pegway, outside pegway. Inside, outside pegway. It's a quick little bit of inside pegway as I make that turn. You can hear the bike. Hear how it's one note? That makes sense, everybody? You see how low that RPM is? You see how I'm not constantly revving? And I'm not slipping out and in with the clutch. It's all very stationary, really. I'm in that friction zone. I'm using a little bit of front brake to help with that. Like I said, you can use rear. If you want me to do it with rear, I can. I always say be able to do it both ways. The goal here is obviously not knocking over the cones, not missing the cones. I want you guys to, once you finish your line of cones, have a look back. Make sure, God, like I said, I've taught this for 10 years. You'd be surprised at how many people just run them all over and then just ride right over and never even really notice that they ran them all over. Have a look back, make sure it's like, okay, I ran 2 over. And also, when you're done,